It's been more than 10 years since the final episode of Sex and the City aired, but the highly respected HBO series continues to gain new fans to this day. Over the course of the show's 6 seasons, you may have kept track of Samantha's flings, Carrie's boyfriends, Miranda's career, and even how many times Charlotte thought she'd met the one. But you've likely missed a few small details along the way. These hidden details will have you hungry to binge the entire show from start to finish again. Theroux ×2. Long before he was set up with Leslie Knope on Parks and Recreation, and before his girlfriend's entire family vanished on The Leftovers, Justin Theroux was still trying to make it big in Hollywood. As most actors do before they become well-known, Theroux made appearances in many big-name shows, including Sex and the City, where he was actually cast as 2 of Carrie's male interests. Since both were small roles, few people have recognized him as the same person playing 2 different men Carrie lusts after.
Those guys get all the action. Am I right, Justin?
We gotta find this guy.
Theroux's first appearance on the show is in Season 1, when Carrie was struggling to understand what she meant to Mr. Big. In Episode 7, titled The Monogamists, Carrie is introduced to Jared, a writer and one of New York Magazine's coolest people under 30. She ultimately uses Jared, played by Theroux, to make Big jealous, so naturally their romance fails to blossom. Theroux then appears again in the Season 2 episode Shortcomings, playing Vaughn Weissel, a fiction writer who introduces Carrie to his family after a few dates, and she's in love. Unfortunately, after a few awkward occurrences in the bedroom, she sees a different side of Vaughn, forcing her to end things with both him and his family. Real-life Berger breakup. While there's no great way to dump someone, there are some obviously wrong ways to end a relationship, like on a Post-it note. Fans would be hard-pressed to forget the infamous message Berger left for Carrie on a Post-it note, but in case you need to refresh your memory.
Read it and weep, my friends.
I'm sorry I can't. Don't hate me.
Super harsh. But it's only television, right? Apparently not. A show writer revealed to the Daily Beast that this scene was inspired by one writer's real-life breakup, saying, "All the writers pitched our worst ones and then came up with the most dismissive way you could break up with someone. It's not even a piece of paper, it's a Post-it."
I once was broken up with by a guy's doorman. I'm sorry, Miss Hobbs. Jonathan won't be coming down. Ever.
Colorful characters. When you think of Natasha and her character, you might automatically think of her as boring or bland, which is exactly what the costume designer had in mind. By dressing Natasha in only white, viewers perceived her as vanilla, the complete opposite of Carrie. There are only 2 instances where she was filmed in other colors. The first is when Carrie is seen in white and Natasha is dressed in black at her and Big's engagement party. The second is the episode where Carrie crashes Natasha's lunch to apologize for having an affair with her husband. Natasha's wardrobe changes to pink after Carrie discovers she's left Big, perhaps to show that she's a slightly less boring woman. The white wardrobe plays another role in the series since both times Carrie and Aiden break up, she happens to be wearing white. Coincidence? We think not.
I want to make this official and lock this thing down. Carrie, I want the whole wide world to know that you're mine.
Who else's would I be?
The nameplate necklace. Throughout the show, Carrie wore a variety of necklaces, but most important to her is her nameplate necklace. Fans don't find out the significance of the piece of jewelry until the end of the series. When Carrie is in Paris, she slips on a puddle of water while shopping, and she thinks she's lost her necklace. She explains to Alexander Petrovsky that it was purchased while shopping with the girls in New York, and it's an especially important memento because she's so far away. Many of the show's fans expected Big to fly to Paris and magically find Carrie's necklace, signifying that she needed Big to find her identity.
Go get our girl.
But we find out later she's capable of finding herself all on her own. While sitting alone at Petrovsky's gallery opening, she finds her necklace in a small hole in the lining of her purse. Say it with flowers. In one of the best season finales of all time, Carrie is seen touring museums and cafes in Paris alone with an armful of violets when Petrovsky once again leaves her to work on his gallery installation. Most viewers didn't think twice about the appearance of the flowers, but the show's producer had a more meaningful reason behind Carrie's floral choice. The DVD commentary explains that one of the costume designers for the show came up with the idea. One of the French directors explained that traditionally in France, the violet is the kind of flower a husband will buy his wife when he has disappointed her. King explains how it symbolizes the tragedy of her relationship with Petrovsky since they've moved to Paris, and her disappointment with not only him, but her entire experience. However, Petrovsky hasn't recognized her disappointment, so it's tragic that she bought the flowers for herself. Thanks for watching! Click the list icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too!